Hello students, let us look into the inspection process a little in detail. So there are some characteristics of inspections. We have seen in the previous video what an inspection actually means and who are the stakeholders. Now what are the characteristics of this inspection? So it is like by the technical people for the technical people. And it is a structured process defined with the specific roles for each, and is focuses on identifying problems and not solving them. So the review data is recorded and used for monitoring the effectiveness of the inspection process. So you know why we are doing this inspection, just to get an idea where the software is lacking behind, or whatever the changes that need to be made so that the software works in a better way and helps for the betterment of the stakeholders, whoever is in need of that software. So there are many things in regard to this. That is, you cannot simply have the inspection without any plans. We have seen this in the last video. Like, there is a need for preparing for this inspection. So there are three stakeholders mainly, like author, moderator and reviewer, who actually are in field and in picture with this inspection. And it is not just the name or the authority or the discipline they have given, like author, moderator, reviewer, but they each have a specific working roles and they need to follow those things. So the first thing is a overview and preparation. When there are three stakeholders like author, moderator and reviewer, they have to overview and prepare for the inspection. So what is this overview and preparation? What to prepare? See, each individual like author, moderator, reviewer, what they have to do is, author is the one who's actually written the code, and he has to know where what was done. Like, he is responsible for answering whatever the questions that arises during this inspection. And moderator is the one who will be talking to, or who will be managing this inspections, who will be like a mediator between the reviewer and the author. And the first thing before coming to the inspection, or before actually the inspection process starts, one has to do the self-review work. That is especially the reviewer. Reviewer is the one, or the inspection team, who are actually involved in this inspection, and what they have to do is they have to prepare a self-preparation log. So what is the self-preparation log then? Self-preparation log is nothing but when they actually are into inspection. Inspection is nothing but here actually it's just a meeting, and what happens in this meeting is each reviewer should be ready with the whatever they have to speak about, or whatever the doubts they have, or whatever they are in necessity of inspecting. And so they have to first prepare. That is, around 2 hours is given for each one to be prepared for the meeting. And once this is done, log in the sense they have to actually take a note of it. They'll be given a format, particular format, and they have to check for everything whatever is there in the format or the log, and they have to see if whatever the ideas they have on their mind is being satisfied or not. And once this is done, that is when individual review work is over, then it is meant for discussion, because you simply can't come into a meeting and you can't start reading there. You should know the things beforehand. So first you have to self-prepare and come to the meeting. Next is the group review meeting. In this meeting, the final defect list is made, and the moderator is in charge of this. What happens in this group review meeting is that every reviewer will put his review. That is, whatever the doubts he has found out, or whatever the mistakes he thinks is being done in the software, all those things he'll be making a list of it and will be presenting in the meeting. And if the author is able to solve that issues, or is he able to give the satisfying answer, then the whatever the fault or the mistakes, if we think it was done, it is nullified. But if it does not happen, if there is some actual defect in the software that has been built, then what is done? Again, the rework has to be done by the author, that is recoding has to be done by the author. Then next review meeting can be taken place. So once this is done, once the meeting is over, all the mistakes or whatever the changes has to be made is listed up. Okay, when this is listed up, based on that list, rework has to be done. Rework in the sense, it's like recoding, nothing else. Okay, the work whatever was done should be redone. Okay, rework. And once it is being done, or during the process of rework, somebody should follow up whether these reworks are being done or not. Okay, so that is followed up. Now in this process, there are few roles and responsibilities of a few stakeholders, like moderator. So what moderator has to do is his duties are, or responsibilities are, he should schedule the group review meeting and ensure that all participants are prepared. He cannot say like all participants are there but they do not know about the software. That cannot be done. They have to be prepared for the meeting, and group review should be conducted by him, and he should ensure that meeting stays focused, because when there is a conflict or when there is a difference of opinion, it always leads to a bigger conflict or a quarrel. So that should not happen. So they should only intend to better the software whatever that is being built, and track each problem, why that problem has occurred and what is the method needed to solve it. And after all these things, complete group review reports. After this, report has to be done and kept and given to the rework. Reviewer also has a responsibility, that is, he has to be prepared for the group review, and he should stay focused on the issues and not on people. That is, whatever is being done is done by a human mind, and there could be mistakes, and we are not pointing that which person has made the mistake. We are only pointing on what was the mistake made and what are the issues that should be solved, and should concentrate on the problems and not on solving them. It's only like you should concentrate what the problem is. Solving is done by the author or whoever actually has coded the software. And without understanding anything, please just don't move on. Like, you need to understand each and everything, because you are the software engineer. Like, for there is a group. In the group review process, whoever is there is a software engineer. He knows about software. But even if that person doesn't understand, how you can expect a ordinary man to understand it? So without understanding, you cannot move on. And when it is proved something is wrong and it has to be corrected, just accept it and just move on. So guidelines for work product. Work product here, it is nothing but the software. So there are a few things like guidelines for work products. That is, requirement specification is the first work product. For that, requirements should meet the customer needs. Requirements are implementable. Omissions, inconsistencies and ambiguities in the requirements, all this is the focus of inspection. And participants are a customers, designers, tester and developer. Next is a high level design. In this phase, this is a phase of the software that is being developed, and the focus of inspection here is high level design implements and requirements. Design is implementable, omissions and other defects in the design. Again, the participants are requirements author, detail designer and developer. Next thing is the coding. In the code implements the design. Code is complete and correct defects in the code. So the participants should ensure these things, and the participants here are designer, tester and developer. System test cases. The test case of all the tests that have been made, okay, or the software. The set of test cases checks all the conditions in the requirement, should be ensured by the requirements of the tester, project leader. And the project management plan, it is the focus of inspection is a plan is complete, project management plans is implementable, omissions and ambiguities are handled properly. And the participants for this is project leader and software engineering project developer or manager or this group member, okay, and another project leader. So these are the guidelines for work products. Next is the software configuration management process. Now what is this configuration management process? So till now we have seen the software is being developed from the start, from a scratch. But on the process, if you see something is being wrong, okay, and in between you need to add something, you have to improve something, then what we do? So it always happens that because software developing is a large process, in sometimes it need not be, but most of the times, because if it all the development of software takes for 6 months, within 2 months you might have a new technology that has come into the market, you may have new hardware that has come into the market, new sensors that have come into the market, that is that could be actually included in your software. Then what you do, you cannot cling on to the old methods or old technologies. Why? Because in another next 6 months this is going to be obsolete. That software, it does not last long. The technologies come and go. So that is why what you need when you are developing, and when the software is being is a changing process or the developing process, then you can't, when the new information or the new technology comes, you cannot keep the old one as it is. You need to improve. So for this configuration management process is done. So what is done? You will be working on a project, it is under review, it should be satisfied by the developer. Then if it is approved, then it goes to the software configuration management. If it is under review and is rejected, again the work has to be made. Next is the CM functionality. So in this, what is done? You have to see that whatever is being working on should be of the latest version. Why is that? Because the configurations keep on changing for a very few a couple of months or a years. You cannot have the same thing. So you should use the latest version of the program. And if at all some changes need to be done, it has to be undone also. That is, undo the change. Once you have done something, then you again come back or roll back and keep that change, okay, and prevent unauthorized changes. It is not like somebody from other team also can come and change your programs. No, it should not happen. Next, gather all information for the current system. Not simply working on it, you should have the thorough knowledge of everything that is related to this software. Next is CM mechanism. That is configuration identification and baselining. That is, you should identify what configuration is needed and you should keep something as a base. Like, you are not going to change this thing, you will keep that as a base. It could be technology, it could be a new information that you have gathered, whatever it is, okay. Then next is a version control or version management. See, you might have heard of these like maybe iPhones, like iPhone 12, iPhone 11, 10, and in everything we have this even softwares we have like 1.1, 1.2, all those things, okay. So what is it? People, once they are being developing this software, at the same time they don't just stop there, they keep on developing that small part or whatever the part of the software, whatever it is, or the whole software as it is, they will be developing or improving. So even when the software is being published or being given to the customer or being launched, it could be not just the first version they were working, it could be some third or fourth version, okay. Means they have made the changes. Like for the better, whatever the better they have got, they have put into the system software or the application software, whatever it is. So that is the version control or version management. Next is the access control, like who is actually going to do these things or who has access to all these things. So this is the SCM lifecycle. It's the same thing compared to your configuration management and development process. So CM process, this requires the whatever the information that you have put in this, it requires a discipline to have the project personnel in terms of proper locations, making changes properly, monitoring the status of the configuration, and performing CM audits. And therefore these all things include in the CM process. And you need to do some changes in the sense, what are the major things that you need to have? First thing is you should log the changes, like what the changes you are making, you should keep a record of it. And if you make that change, what would be the impact of it? That analysis you have to do. And impact on effort and schedule. That is, see, if you are making some changes, whatever the manpower you have used to develop that, whether is going to a waste. If you are doing that, you should manage how to overcome that, because once the manpower is used, you cannot take it back. Like you have to pay for that people, right, who has worked, then you cannot take it back. So you should think of it intelligently and review impact. If you make the changes, is the software going to be working in the same way? You have to see that. Then rework work products. If it is all feasible, then you make the changes that is necessary. So these are the things that we have in the requirements change management process. Next is the process management process, that is the capability maturity model. We will see in the next video. Thank you.